Okay, students, this is lecture number 2 pertaining to our classical poetry belonging to second semester of BS English. I am going to discuss about Milton's age. So, when we talk about Milton's age is divided into two parts. Jacobean age and Caroline age. So it was a period in 1603 when Queen Elizabeth died and James IV of Scotland occupied England after the death of Queen Elizabeth. So here I have written that he accessed to the throne. In the this portion of the whiteboard, I have written some important events that took place during the reign of King James. The first event, the 1603, he was accession to throne. King James came from Scotland. He belonged to Presbyterian sect of Protestant society, and when he became a king, there was a conflict, severe conflict between Catholics and Protestants within the country, and also on the other parts of the Europe. Spain, Rome were Catholics. England was a Protestant country, major Protestant country of that time, and Anglican church was there, and the ruler of the England would be the ultimate authority, religious as well as religious authority as well as national authority. In 1605, gunpowder plot was made against him, and some group of Protestant people, tried to murder the king. And in 1609, those culprits, group of Catholic people were found out and they were executed. In 1613, he married his daughter to the Prince of Spain, which was a Catholic country, in order to pacify some rift between the two major sections of religious sections, Protestants and Catholics. But this event embittered many members of the parliament in the England. So the king was not in good books, and he firmly believed and exploited the notion that the King of England had the divine rights to rule, and he is answerable to no one. 1617, King James Bible was made part of the English religious books and also literature. 1625, King James died. So these are some of the most important events that I thought important to discuss. Now I am going to discuss about the condition of the society in the Jacobean age. It was an era when England was turning into becoming a superpower, and many inventions, many discoveries were made in different fields of knowledge, geography, astronomy, um, adventure, science, bio, math, everything. In every field of life, discoveries and inventions and new things were coming. New thinking were approaches. England was occupying different regions of the world, in Asia, in Africa, in America also. So, England made colonies in America 1603 1610 in the regions like Virginia, New Holland. Due to excessive voyage, the trade was a very big business of that time. Due to this business, businessmen, trade class progressed much, and they also started to launch their companies in other regions of the world. So the private enterprise money was in excess, and also men. From the countries like Africa, they started transport of men labor, trading companies financed by London, prosperous rural society. This is the period when the fruit of the progress development also reached to the people of very far-flung areas. In the rural areas, people also became very prosperous and very wealthy. Rise of Parliament. Because the actions of the king and his doings were against the members or the main body of the government, so it embittered the Parliament. So we see rise of Parliament in the era of King James. Union of Crowns and Wars. He was king of Scotland as well as of England, and many wars were fought between Catholics and also Protestants in different parts of the Europe. Now we have a look on the literature of that time. During the period of 1601 to 1607, it is a period in which Shakespeare wrote the masterpieces of his literature. He wrote the plays like Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth, also these kind of tragedies that are very great piece of work. Thomas Middleton, Beaumont Fletcher, Webster, they are the writers. They were also writing the tragedies, and in their tragedies there is problem of evil. Evil is very much depicted within their writings. Other one is Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson is very great writer of that time. After Shakespeare, he is considered to be the major tragedian of that time. He is famous for his comedies, and he wrote plays on the comedy of manners. If we come to the poetry, there are Cavalier poets, Thomas Carew, John Suckling, Ben Jonson. In that time, there are also metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical poetry, as you have learned in the earlier semester about, you have read the poetry of John Donne. That is in excessive use of metaphysical wit, metaphysical conceit, and personal emotions. Milton. So the Milton is very great figure among the poets. After Shakespeare, he is regarded to be the most famous personality in English literature. Francis Bacon is a person who mostly wrote prose, and his work is regarded to be the basis for every philosophy on which the modern science, the science of that time, was based. So, in this age, we see that there are different translations. There is science, human psychology. The books are being written on the human psychology, human behavior, and religious books were also being written at that time. Students, I think that this is enough pertaining to Jacobean age in regarding Milton's era, and I hope that you would have learned some important things. Now it is the first part of Milton's age is completed. In the second part of the lecture, we are going to discuss about Caroline age, the features and the literature of Caroline age.